I'm sure. But just to mention that the straight back is the most important element of the meditation posture. And it's something to do with the flow of energy alongside or maybe within the spinal column. And this also connects with the breath, which is why meditation on the breath is sort of ubiquitous, really, as a popular basic meditation. And when you settle the breath with a straight back, then it will have the effect of calming your mind, which is seems to be a physiological fact somehow about humans anyway. I don't know about other mammals. Anyway, so that's why when we're settling the posture, I usually say start at the bottom of your spine. Bring your attention inside your body to the base of your spine. And slowly bring your attention up your spine, consciously straightening it as you go, and slightly stretching it, because that separating the vertebrae also seems to help a bit. And you go slowly upwards, and then you pause at your neck, your throat. And I always find it fascinating that if you just pause here, you can already notice that something has shifted radically in your self-awareness or self-image even. You're just getting a completely different feeling of what you are. And now from the throat, you can look in both directions to the shoulders and create a straight line between them going right through your throat. And relax those shoulders. And then let your arms be loose. I'm now assuming that you're sitting up, but actually even if you were lying down, you would let your arms be loose and your elbows not touching your body. I think many of us put our hands on our knees, palm down or palm up, but also you can put hand over hand in your lap or at the level of your navel. Somehow it's often recommended to put the right over the left, but I don't know whether that's important. The main thing is the hands should be sort of symmetrical, and you're not going to think about them very much, but they're just going to be settled. And then from there, I think it's useful to go to the lower part of your body from your waist downwards. And assuming you're sitting, then your bottom is comfortably on your seat, whether it's a chair or a cushion, or whatever. And if you're on a chair, then your legs should not be crossed. Your feet should be flat on the floor or on something that you can rest them on. And if you're sitting on a cushion on the floor, like I am, then you usually cross your legs in a way that is quite stable. And the best posture is usually to have your knees touching the floor, so it makes a sort of tripod between what's called your sit bones, which is part of your pelvis, and your knees. Anyway, that's by the by. And then when you focus on this lower part of your body, it's good to be aware of your weight. And remember that weight is a function of gravity being pulled towards the center of the earth. And the reason why we don't just disappear into the center of the earth is because the earth holds us up. And so this helps us to become aware of our relationship with the earth. We are on this earth, and we are held up by this earth, or held by this earth. And you can feel this relationship where your bottom touches your seat, where your feet or knees or whatever touch the floor. And feel the connection. And this is grounding, stabilizing. And this isn't just a physical stability. It also helps to stabilize your mind. And that's essential in meditation. Because normally our mind is just jumping around. And that also happens in meditation, but meanwhile there's this groundedness underneath, which is where the meditation really belongs. So the jumping around is a sort of distraction that you just allow to come and go, but don't follow it. And the experience of all these things I'm describing are internal. They're experienced by your mind, but very much in connection with energy. The energy of your own body, but also the energy of the earth. For instance, the magnetism of gravity pulling you down. And the more you open to these things, the more stable your mind becomes. And also there's a kind of nourishment. A feeling of belonging to the earth, not separate. And by bringing our attention downwards like this, we're withdrawing from all the activity inside our head. So just go back up there into your head and let go of any tension that you accumulated during the day so far. There'll likely be tension around the eyes, around the ears, around the mouth and jaw and throat, and around the brain. And you can train yourself to relax all these tensions and release the tension. Let it go down your spine, out of your body, sucked by gravity to the center of the earth. And the earth is quite comfortable to absorb that. And there's a slight risk of feeling sleepy as a result of letting go of all that tension in the head. And to counteract that, bring your attention above your brain and carry on upwards through the ceiling, through the roof, through the clouds if there are clouds, and imaginatively reach out in all directions into the sky, the clear sky above the clouds, pervaded by sunlight. And this also brings about a mental experience of intense clarity. And you can identify this. So stability comes more to do with the lower part, and intense clarity the upper part. And when you bring these together more in the center of your body, like within your rib cage and your diaphragm, this intense clarity and stability conjoined is the basis for all good meditation, no matter what the object or topic. Just experience that combination of stability and intense clarity. And without shifting your mind from within your body, become aware of the breath at the nostrils. Up there, still in your head, but just allow that breath naturally to enter and leave in its own time. And the in-breath expands your rib cage and your diaphragm a little. And the out-breath contracts them. And without looking at the screen, let me just tell you that there are 7 of us in this group right now. And we're all breathing. And what's more, we're all aware of breathing. So now just extend your meditation to be aware of not just one person breathing, but of 7 people breathing, each with the experience of the passage of air through the nostrils, each with the experience of the rise and fall of the rib cage and diaphragm, each with the basic stability and intense clarity of the mind which meditates. And in this way, your identity extends not just one, but 7 bodies breathing. And it's quite likely that there are people not in this Zoom call who are meditating on the breath right now. Could be anywhere in the world. Also conscious of the breath. And extending beyond those who are conscious of the breath, there's everyone who's alive on planet Earth at this moment, all breathing. And so in a sense, in your meditation, you are conscious for everyone. And just as we felt our connection with the earth earlier, we can now feel our connection with everyone on this planet, just through the fact that we're all breathing. And you can even go beyond humans, because there are many other beings who are breathing. So your direct object is your own breath, but your awareness is more universal. So you now have a little short relax, stretch, move around, whatever you need to do. And when you're ready, come back to a meditation posture. Could be the same one or different. And again, settle into your body, mind with body, in the present moment. And we're continuing to meditate on the element of consciousness, having already spent the earlier part of the year on earth, water, fire, air or wind and space, and now finally consciousness. So there are three synonyms: consciousness, awareness, and mind. The way I use these terms is that they all mean the same thing. So to start this second meditation, become aware of your awareness. Become aware of being aware. And discover what that actually feels like. For instance, is it really tied to your physical being? It's definitely connected to it, but is it limited by the boundary of your skin? Try to feel your exploration of this question. Don't intellectualize. Feel it. Gradually you can come to feel that your awareness or consciousness is like space, in that it's not really physically located, although it is connected to your body. So settle into this awareness of being aware. And consider that although you are very focused on awareness, if someone walked in the room and saw you, they wouldn't see your awareness. They would see your body. And they would be able to see that you're meditating and that you're focusing inwards because of meditating. So they could at least understand that your attention is internal. But they'd be hard pushed to know what you're experiencing right now. And now, remembering again that there is a group of us, there's now 6 in this group, and we're all doing the same meditation practice, which is being aware of our awareness and considering that it's related to our body but somehow extends beyond it. But this state of being aware is quite common to all of us. We might hear different sounds or experience the touch of different floors or seats. But the nature of our awareness is kind of the same. And it's the same in each case in not being limited to the space within our skin. So just as we practiced with the breath, open out your awareness to being aware of everyone in the group's awareness. Not the content of it, because that's individual, but the nature of it. We can call it its cognitive capacity, which we each have. So I'm inviting you to temporarily let go of thinking that your consciousness is physically located and boundaried, and to feel the possibility of its extension to connect with other consciousnesses. And sometimes people have experience of knowing what somebody else is experiencing, even across distance. It's called clairvoyance. And whether or not you've had that experience, just settle your mind now into the potential for that. The potential for knowing the minds of others. This is more powerful if you meditate from within your ribcage or diaphragm than if you meditate from your brain. It's more intuitive lower down. Now there's a parallel here with the earlier meditation on the breath. Those who meditate on the breath become conscious of breathing, whereas most people and other beings who breathe just breathe unconsciously. Most of the time, anyway. And there's a similarity with this meditation, where we are opening our awareness to connect with the awareness of others, which is something that most people don't do, at least most of the time. But it doesn't mean it isn't there as some kind of unconscious connection. So try to feel that you're making what is normally unconscious a little bit more conscious. And just be with that experience. You don't need to discuss it or question it. Just settle into it. It can include the quality of empathy. And it can include a sort of consciousness that we are all in this together. A sort of collective consciousness, if you like. It's not that we're all thinking the same thing or feeling the same thing, but at a certain level, a deep level, we are connected. And the more you develop this capacity, skillful you can be in how you relate with others. So it's very helpful to do this meditation. Just settle into it. Don't think too much. And of course this can be universal and not just humans, but we know from our relationship with our pets, if we have them, that they're often very tuned into how we feel. And it can work both ways. So just settle into this universal connectivity of consciousness. It can also help to feel the sense of separateness that we often experience, which is a false sense. So very like the meditation on the breath. Be here with your own awareness, aware of being aware, but at the same time aware of the connections, the universal connections